Hey folks, this is GameKick, and today we're doing part 4 of our Let's Build in Parkitect. And we're extending this little tan area over here, and we're going to be building a haunted house. I thought this would be a cool thing to have over here next to the roller coaster so that anyone who is riding that coaster just gets a glimpse at one of the other rides while they're going up that first incline there. And I also thought that it would be cool to have it sort of not floating but on a platform in this this little mini pond over here. So this is the first time on camera that I've used the terraforming tools in Parkitect, and they're actually pretty easy to use. So you can set the size that you want your cursor to be. So you can see in that last one I was just using, so here I'm just using one square to move up and down, but when I was first making that hole I was using a larger one just to make it a little bit easier. And what I'm doing here is just trying to make it even on all sides so it looks a little bit more symmetrical. And even with that indent of the pond there, I decided that I want to make this like a really high raised platform, just so it looks like it's really sticking out of the water there. And you can see really quick it started raining, so I just went over and really quickly raised the prices of the umbrellas for everyone that's buying them. But here I'm placing down the entrance and exit and just trying to match the colors a little bit with what I want it to look like. And what I really want for both this queue entrance and the exit line is that I guess mostly for the entrance, but I wanted it to be you're kind of going up and up and up into this haunted house, and you're suspended over this this lake, and you're just getting closer and closer to the horrors of the haunted house. So then on the other side, I just try to match it as close as I can to the way that the queue entrance is set up. And the path that I picked for that is actually the same path that you see down on the ground there, that kind of sand colored path, but when you pick that and you build it over water, it actually turns into those wooden planks, which I think in this case actually looks pretty cool. And then after those entrance and exit lines are all set, I decide maybe I'll hide those posts a little bit, so it takes me a little while, so I'm just gonna speed through this even faster than usual and just show you how I started to cover up all those posts. I don't actually finish it here before I decide that yeah, I just take a break and I go over and build another ride next to this in the same little themed area. I decide maybe I'll make one of those rocking ships. I think I decided best at this point just because I was bleeding money. You can see down at the bottom I'm in a negative balance, and it's only going down and down as I build more stuff. So this new ride is me hoping to recoup a little bit of my lost cash there. So then next I just head back over to the haunted house, and I think what better way to theme this out than with a bunch of headstones and bones and stuff, so it's kind of like you are entering a graveyard as you walk through that line before you hit that body of water right there. And as I've said before, some of the decorations can feel a little bit repetitive, but it's actually amazing how different you can make it feel just by even taking the same piece of decoration and rotating it and putting it down in the same place, like I did with those bones. It just makes it feel unique, I guess, and gives you a little bit more differentiation between all the various items visually. And then here I'm just going to step back away from the haunted house for a minute, and I'm still a little bit into the red in terms of cash down on the bottom left there. So most of my shops that I've built previously are getting the comments like, this is a great value, or I can't believe they're charging prices so low. So I'm pretty much raising all the prices across the board here, just to try to get a little bit of extra cash coming in. And then right here I'm just dividing my two little areas up into two different zones. So I called that one Spook Town, and then that other zone right by the front is just, I called it Bland Land, just because looking at it now, it just compared to Spooktown over here, just looks a little bit bland. So next, I'm actually going to make a whole new section of the park that's themed a little bit differently and has a few more rides. So up past Bland Land over there, I decided I'm going to do 2 different rides, and I'm going to theme it sort of in a forest kind of theme. I guess I was first inspired by the green color on that first ride. But I'm actually quite pleased with the way that this little area turned out. I decided that a river dividing those 2 different rides would be pretty cool and lend, I guess, a little bit to that forest theme that I want to have going on here. So I do that, and I'm just going to be quiet while I finish up these decorations over here. Alright, so there I have my trees pretty much placed, pretty much almost done being placed, and I really like the way it turned out. So then on this border path down here, I'm just placing a few benches just so the visitors have some places to sit once they're all done, and then just also some trash cans. I don't think trash actually does anything yet in Parkitect. Like, there's no I haven't seen any comments from visitors that are like, oh man, this park is just full of garbage or whatever if you don't put them in. But, you know, I figure just for, you know, to be super realistic, just because this park looks, you know, so realistic like a real park. Always good to have them. So here I'm back over at the haunted house, and I'm just theming out the exit a little bit with that same sort of like the same graveyard theme that I have at the entrance, but it's a little bit different. You can see those gravestones that I've picked are slightly different, and then I'm just putting down some bones, and I used the darker green, I put down some of that darker green tile texture down there just to make it feel more like an actual grass graveyard. And then here I come back, I guess I've decided I have the patience to come back and finish up that big wall surrounding those posts underneath the haunted house. So it's a lot of I guess I wish that the height adjustment and building in a continuous line was just a little bit smoother, because having to adjust that height up and down for each row that I'm working on, it just, I don't know, it just gets a little bit tedious having to do that over and over again if you go back to the same thing. Like, there's no continue this wall from the piece that already exists or whatever, like there is with, you know, I guess like there is with the roller coaster track. But there I finish. Wait, did I only finish 3? I think I only finished 3 of those walls, but I decided maybe the back doesn't matter too much. And then I'm back over here in my little Into the Woods land, which is what I called it, because I think I had just seen that play, and I decided that would be a cool name for it. So I'm putting down some shrubs and then also fencing it off. So I've decided that after playing this game for a bit, the sections really look official if you add a fence to them, because if you go to any actual amusement park, there's definitely going to be a fence around every part that you go to, so you just don't just wander into the random pieces of the park. So I also, I don't know if you noticed, but at those those path entrances to the zone, I put 2 posts down and then a fence on top of it, which obviously is not a real gateway, but it actually matches and looks kind of cool. So I just thought that would be a nice little way to say, hey, you're entering a new area of the park, and obviously it's going to look a little bit different than the part that you're currently in. So that's going to be it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed our new area of the park, and make sure you like this video and subscribe to make sure you catch the next one. See you next time.